Welcome back, everyone, to the second edition of the Loupe Market Report powered by Slabstox. We are back today to cover more cards between the basketball, baseball, and soccer market. But before that, we're going to cover the market dip and what it means for you and how you might be able to react and navigate through this dip to stay on your toes and make sure you're still collecting, investing, and keeping the most important industry trends in mind while going through these next few months. Get ready. We got another episode. To start off today's show, I want to talk really briefly about the recent dip in the market. So I was doing some research on Slabstox Pro today, and I noticed, along with many of you have over the past few weeks, that there are certain segments of the market that are dipping. You know, they're taking a steep decline going into the summer, especially in basketball too, while the playoffs are coming, which last year was the complete opposite. Playoffs were coming, the bubble, all that hype. You know, COVID hype as well, people jumping to sports cards when we saw prices booming. This year, it's kind of the opposite. We're seeing prices steadily decline going to the playoffs for most of these players. And many of you are wondering, what should I be doing? How should I navigate around this market? And really importantly, like, how do I not lose money, of course? And that's what a lot of people are thinking about right now. I would say a few tips. Number one of the biggest reasons why I'd say the market is dipping right now has got to be because of COVID restrictions loosening, stimulus money running out, because the last time we saw a massive market push that was back in the end of January, beginning of February, when stimulus checks were issued. And I really think that had a huge effect on the short-term market boom. And then also keep in mind that there are so many cards coming back from PSA grading right now. I think because of the suspension, more cards are getting graded, because they do have more time and resources, of course, to apply to those cards that are sitting there right now. And those cards are coming back from grading. High supply cards, base PSA 10s, base PSA 9s, even potentially, silver 9s, silver 10s, and anything really that I think is not numbered, unless it's like a super short print, like a Zebra, Case Hit Off Select. People that are getting these PSA submissions back, they paid really, really, really stinking low on those non-graded singles. When people grade low, and they grade cheap, and they grade on a long time frame, they generally bought those cards for dirt. They're grading them for very cheap. Their cost in total is very cheap, so they're okay with selling it for 10% less than the most recent comp, or 25% than the most recent sale. What I will say is to not panic, first of all, but really digest what's happening and make decisions based off of that. If you're okay with taking a little bit of a loss to reinvest that elsewhere, I'd say it's okay. I've done that with some of my own cards, taken a little loss, but found something I really, really wanted instead and went and invested it there because I think that can go up more over time. That's okay. And I think a lot of this, you really just need to sit back and really do some research and understand what's going on overall to make the best decision for yourself, because in the end, that's really what's going to make you confident, is understanding and really learning and making that decision and sticking to it. So get ready for today's Market Report episode. First up, we got Sam. Sam, take it away with the Basketball Market Report.
Hey, Slabstox Sam here for your basketball card market update. Anthony Edwards has been one of the top 3 rookies in the NBA this season and stands a pretty decent chance of winning the 2020 NBA Rookie of the Year award. Both he and LaMelo Ball are likely to garner the most consideration for that recognition. In the month of April, the Timberwolves went 8-8, which certainly hurts their odds for a top 3 draft pick in the upcoming NBA draft, but it won't hurt that those wins came on the back of some excellent play by the young shooting guard. In the month of April, he averaged 21.5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.5 steals per game, and now he's scored at least 25 points in 4 of the last 5 games. There are many things that Edwards has left to work on, among those his shot selection, but he clearly knows how to score the ball, which is one of the big drivers in the sports card market. His Prism Silver PSA 9 rookie is currently sitting at $612, approximately a 20% increase since the first sale was recorded just about 1 month ago. As more of these cards hit the market, you can expect prices to drop a little bit. Long term, though, I think Edwards remains a solid investment choice. He has the correct blend of scoring ability and highlight style level of play that performs really well on Twitter and Instagram, which means many eyes will be on him, and he also brings a genuine joy and excitement to the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise that they simply haven't had with many of the top draft selections of the past decade. I do believe that the Timberwolves are likely to begin the process of building the organization around the image and the play of Anthony Edwards for the next decade or so, which should position him well on the card market whenever the Wolves return to contention. With awards season right around the corner, this time of year often finds sports card investors wondering whether they can capitalize on a likely award winner by buying now and then selling after the announcement with an expected price bump. We've often seen in the past, however, that most of the price increase is factored into the player before the award announcement, and rarely do we see any kind of meaningful price bump after the fact. For instance, by now it appears almost certain that Nikola Jokic will win the NBA MVP award, and it won't come as any surprise when that eventually happens. We probably won't see any price bumps. Another award that seems likely to be handed out is the Defensive Player of the Year award to Rudy Gobert, although that race will likely be much tighter. There's been more buzz on various websites and TV shows lately about the 7-foot Frenchman, both about how undervalued he is and how superb he is on the defensive side of the ball. And I agree with many of those sentiments, but before we get to awards season, we do have to make it through the NBA playoffs. A common narrative each year is that Rudy Gobert is played off the court during the playoffs. This theory is often repeated due to his strengths simply not showing up in the highlights and his weaknesses being magnified in the playoff environment. I don't agree with that narrative at all, but we have seen it pop up year after year, and I expect it to be repeated again this year if the Jazz are bounced at any point. Rudy Gobert's 2013 Select Silver PSA 9 rookie card is up 109% in the past 3 months, but if you're considering buying Gobert or Jokic or any other likely award winner with the hopes of an award season bump, you're likely better off waiting until the offseason to buy. Coming up this week on Loupe, you can look forward to Kobe repacks with Hit Seekers. Kobe Bryant will be inducted into the Hall of Fame on Saturday. A few days before that, Hit Seekers is paying tribute with a repack event that's dedicated entirely to the Black Mamba. More than 40 Kobe repacks are coming your way Wednesday, May 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we'll have Lupin at the Links. Brew Medic is a madman. He'll be ripping golf carts while he plays around, weather permitting, of course. Critique his swing on Friday, May 14th at 3:30 Eastern. Then he's streaming from home that night with discounts for anyone who guessed his score correctly. The second half starts Friday, May 14th at 10 p.m. Eastern. Finally, this weekend, we'll have Lab 20's Sunday repacks. The fan favorites are back. Wrap up your weekend with another round of Lab 20 Sunday repacks. Everyone loves these for a reason. Check it out Sunday, May 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Next, let's send it over to Slabstox Nate for our baseball update.
Thank you, Sam. Welcome to the Loupe Baseball Market Report. I am Slabstox Nate, and today we are going to be talking about Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers. He is an outfielder, a center fielder, left fielder, right fielder. He's played all three positions this year, who is absolutely killing it on the early going. He has been hitting .297 with a .339 on base and a .604 slugging, which is good for a .943 OPS. A .159 OPS plus, which is 59% better than the league average hitter, and also 9 home runs on the early going, which is something amazing considering he was acquired for cash considerations from the Cardinals 2 years ago. How many guys have gone on to become even valuable for their team, let alone as good as Adolis Garcia has been doing in the early going? How many guys have become valuable for their team after being a cash consideration trade in which the Cardinals probably got $1 for him? So it's been an incredible journey for him. The question now is it sustainable, and are his card prices sustainable? So let's answer, is his production sustainable? So he has 9 home runs, and he's 59% better than league average, and he's been worth like 1.6 baseball reference WAR above replacement. Baseball reference WAR above replacements. 1.6 B WAR, which is wins above replacement. Now he has a 30.3 K rate and a 5.5% walk rate. Both those numbers are in areas you do not want to see. That's a low walk rate, and that's a very high K rate. That is a red flag. But on the other end of the spectrum, you look at his contact, and that is where it paints a rosier picture. He is hitting the ball 42% of the time with hard contact and 52.2% of the time with medium contact. Those are both nice, especially when he is only hitting the ball soft contact 5.8% of the time. When you see that, and you see how he hits the ball to his pull side 41% of the time, center 35% of the time, and oppo 25% of the time, and you see a guy that is hitting the ball hard and spreading it all around, a lot harder to get him out by shifting or anything like that, pitching him a certain way. So The strikeouts are a concern, but everything else is so nice about Adolis Garcia that I'm willing to bet that he keeps this up. For how long, I don't know. But it's a decent bet that this is not just a flash in the pan. These are not just 9 lucky home runs. Now the question is, are the prices going to keep up? And you see the first price over here for his Bowman Chrome Blue Auto number to 150. You see the first price over here, $23 on March 27th, 2021. The next sale was for $50 on April 15th. The next sale was for $85 on April 23rd. And then it broke 100 and was for $150 on April 26th. Well, now it is all the way up. The last sale on May 9th, 2021 for $204. That is pretty incredible. $23 to $204 is an incredible rise for a guy that not many people knew of even 2 years ago. And yet here he is. Huge money. Will that stay up? I don't think so. He would have to be really high. He hit 4 home runs last week, and you watch this skyrocket. So maybe stay away, maybe buy the dip, because he looks like he could be real. But there are some red flags. Thank you for listening to this baseball market recap, and going over to Aaron for the Loupe soccer market recap.
Thanks, Nate, for running our baseball segment for today, and we are on to the soccer segment. Today, we are looking at the 2020 Obsidian set, and I want to talk to you all about buying singles out of release for a product. So Obsidian released a few weeks ago. Prices were very hot out of the gate. We are going to look at 3 rookie cards from that set and break down their prices over the last couple weeks. So starting with Jude Bellingham from Dortmund. This is his first rookie card released through a Panini product. He's had some Topps Now cards in the past, but the first really pulled product from Panini. He also has Topps Museum Collection now. But for this exercise, we're going to look at Obsidian. And that card started over $700, as we see here on Slabstox Pro. 421, we had a few sales that combined to average $733. Then we had a big drop-off down to $333 on April 24th. And then we kind of pick up a little bit, and then we drop back down, go up to $442.50 on May 3rd, and no sales since then. These cards are all numbered out of 195, all the base cards out of 195, and the Bellingham dropped quite significantly. We're looking at 39% drop and $290 drop in that time as well. Definitely be aware of cards coming out of the gate, coming out of release. If you're looking to invest in singles, be sure to wait a few weeks. Now, there is a prime time for buying because there's 2 things going on here. So one, you want to make sure you get cards at a good enough condition that you can potentially grade them. If you wait too long, everyone's going to buy all of them, or they're going to pull them and send them right away to get graded. And then, you could get 10s here and there, or could get 9s here and there, but it's much more difficult. But if you buy too soon, you're going to be the one that's buying over $700 on this Bellingham. The next card we're going to check out is Jamal Musa for Bayern Munich. 18-year-old. He is the quickest and youngest scorer to reach 6 goals in the Bundesliga history, which is crazy. And his card as well took that steep drop off. This one dropped a ton, actually. This one started at $1,200 on the first sale. Whoever bought that, I'm sorry, because it dropped down very quickly to $300, which was the low point. Picked back up, going to $480, got over $500. Now the most recent sale is to $449. That is a 62% drop in price, $751 drop from the start. So really, really be mindful coming out of the gate on these sets, these new releases of the single market. Be sure to wait a bit and try to get a better deal than right at the beginning, because you're going to definitely overpay. And lastly, we're looking at Pedri from Barcelona. So it really doesn't matter who you are, what club you play for, what your ranking is from ESPN in the top under 20 players in the world, because he landed at number 7 on the list recently in the world for U20 players, and his card as well dropped huge. That's another 50% plus decrease in price over the last 3 weeks or so since the release on April 21st. We saw that really high sale at 500 and just down, all the way down, keeps dropping, and the most recent sale was around $203 in price, and that's where it's sat since. So you got to remember, do not buy too early out of a release. If there's one tip I want you to take away from today, it is that. Be sure to read historical prices, trends. Make sure to stay on your toes so that you don't get caught buying too early, because that is how you can lose a lot of money. We want to make sure that y'all are protecting yourselves when investing in these cards and making sure you also have the chance to buy some non-graded. I just did that, in fact. I did pick up a Musiala, actually a red out of 5, today of Jamal Musa from Obsidian, because I wanted to make sure I waited long enough so that I wasn't buying, too early on, and then I had the chance to grade it because, maybe someone didn't get around to grading it or didn't want to with this recent PSA suspension. So make sure to keep in mind, do not buy too early. Do not get caught. This was today's soccer segment. We will catch you all in the next week's episode to look at some more soccer cards and also a bit of a Euro 2021 preview because that's coming up very, very fast.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the Loupe Market Report powered by Slabstox. Really hope you learned a lot, particularly with the current card market dip as well as in the various sports marketplaces. Stay tuned next week for updates on basketball, baseball, soccer, and hopefully even football. We've got a lot more to come. Thank you again for your time, and we'll see you again next week.